we are here. This is our third update video.
Yeah.
Good morning. So we're just here to talk about what we've been up to in 2021 and just some things that life changes, things that have been happening, things just we've been doing, what's taken us away from YouTube, just what we've been doing, why we're so gosh darn busy.
Yeah.
So that's what we're here talking about. If you didn't see the other two videos, I'll put the playlist. I think I'm going to technically call these vlogs, even though they're not really vlogs. So whichever side the card pops up on, if you want to click the playlist, if you missed them and you want to go watch them, you can. The first video, we talked a lot about COVID. Second video, we went through a little list of just things we've been doing. So if you want to go watch those, you can. If not, this is our third and final installment.
Wrap-up video.
The wrap-up video of what we've been up to. We just talked about Nathan's new job. Once the fall came around, I had cheer start back up for the fall season. Luckily, after COVID and everything, I mean, it's still around, but it settled. And so we had lighter restrictions. We were able to have a regular fall season. And so that was fun as always. It was honestly a really stressful season, probably the most stressful season I've ever been a part of, even through the drama that I went through as a teenager in cheer. It topped everything, and it was a lot, and it tested me and challenged me, and I feel like it equipped me for things in ministry, things in cheer. I feel like I learned a lot, and stuff that I'm going to use within this new cheer season, and for youth. I've even used it to apply to youth, and basically just gave me this no tolerance attitude. Like, you are a human being, you are called to be decent, and even if you have stuff going on in your life, you need to be a decent human being. And so just being able to, not necessarily in a harsh way, but be able to encourage these teens, like, life is not all about you. And obviously in youth group it's different, because it's like encouraging them with their relationship with Christ and finding their relationship with Christ. But as far as cheer goes, providing a better atmosphere for the rest of the team. It's not about you, it's about your team as a whole. And so there were things I found out literally on like the last week of cheer. My girls didn't express with me until the chaos was at an end. And I was like, dude, I could have changed something if I had known it was affecting you this way. I thought it was just affecting us coaches and the people involved, not the whole team. And so it just made me learn a lot. And so anyways, so that season was really stressful, but I still wouldn't have changed it for the world. I love doing cheer. I'm excited for this season coming up, which we're already coming close on tryouts. I know. Cheer is, people don't realize, just because I'm a cheer coach for fall, football cheer is an all year long thing. You do fundraisers in the summer, you do tryouts in the spring. So really you just get winter off because people are still reaching out to you about stuff. Cheerleaders are still reaching out to you, especially when you have a bond. They're still reaching out just to visit and say hi, which it's not taxing, but it's still work. We celebrated 5 years of marriage in November. That was exciting. 6 years together, 5 years of marriage. And we spent it up in Winthrop. We go up there every year. We hope to continue that tradition. We'll see. We had some really bad wildfires this summer that almost took it out. And so we were really grateful that we got to go back and celebrate our anniversary there. They even were just doing cleanings because it was so like smoky from the fire being so close. Literally the fire was up on the mountain it sits on. We saw where the fire burnt to. But luckily it didn't take out the resort. So they had to do some cleaning. We almost thought we wouldn't be able to go for our anniversary itself. And then they opened up just in time, basically, for us to be able to go up there. And it was fun as always. We had a really good time. It's always really rejuvenating and relaxing for us. There's Wi-Fi up there, but we try not to use it, and we kind of just take advantage.
And it was in and out anyway this time, so...
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't really consistent
nice,
this time.
Honestly, to not have it.
Gives us an excuse to unplug from the world. And then in that year, or in that month, excuse me, literally actually the weekend after our anniversary, we put on a mini conference. In the last video we talked about, we did this little youth rally in 2020 for our teens when G3 conference was canceled. We called it Revival Rush. We called it that because the name of our youth group is Revival Youth. And we kind of rushed it together. And so we were kind of rushing something, but at the same time praying that it brought revival to our community and to our teens. So we called it Revival Rush. So we brought Revival Rush 2.0 back in November, just to give the teens something to do in November, because it's kind of a time of year where not a whole lot was going on. Plus they kept asking, like, when are we going to do that again? They really enjoyed it. And so we put that on the weekend after. We had some friends come from Life Church in Walla Walla, 3 of the interns, and they were interns at the time. And one of the students was one of our old youth students, actually. He attended youth with us, went to that conference and was like, wow, this church is really great. So he went back once he graduated, joined their internship, and really got a fire. I mean, he had a fire for God, but it was different, you know. And so then it just kind of became more real to him, that's the way he worded it. And so he got to come back and share a little word, share his testimony. And then my friend Destin, I was really good friends with his brother in high school. And so Destin is an intern. I don't know if I said his name, Kyle.
Yeah.
Our old student was Kyle. He's an intern. So then my friend Destin is also an intern at Life Church. We've connected with him every time that we go to the conference. And so he got to come speak a message. It was amazing. In fact, I'll even put a card in here to our youth channel. You can go watch every message that was preached at our conference, Revival Rush. If you want to go watch it. Nathan's message is there, my cousin Ty's message, Destin's message, and Kyle's testimony is all there. And then they brought their friend Ben, which was a super cool guy. He was so funny and so nice, and it was just great to have all 3 of them there. It was it was really fun. Yeah. And brought a whole different depth to what Revival Rush is and what Revival Rush is becoming. And so it was just really fun. We did that in November. That obviously took a lot of my time planning that conference on top of cheer, on top of everything else going on in our life. And so we're not doing that again. We're not going to label or layer stuff on top again. We're going to do it in the summertime this year, just so that I can focus more on conference and not cheer and conference at the same time. But either way, it was still a blast. I think that it was really good. Yeah. Our teens got a lot out of it. Praise the Lord. And we're excited to do it again. So that obviously took a lot of our time planning and preparing for that. After that conference, actually the same weekend, so there were some things that was going on in our church. We were just having a shift in leadership. Sorry about Daisy. She's upset. She's been in the kennel. If you hear her, whoa. There were some leadership shifts in our church within the early part of 2021. We had our pastor's niece, Nathan's cousin, Jessica, our pastor's daughter, Nathan's cousin, Jessica, step in as worship leader for a while. And then her and her cousin, oh my gosh, why am I getting so tongue-tied? Her and her husband, that'd be weird if it was her cousin, felt called to move down to California and help a church down there. I believe it was his home church, his childhood church. Or if not his childhood church, it was just a church that meant a lot to him, one that he considered his home church. And so they went down there to serve there, spend time with his mom who's ill. And so they were moving, and it was all decided really quick. They were going to leave anyway just for a vacation and go spend time with her and some family. So I was already prepared to take over for a couple of weeks as a worship leader. I was the backup. And then she kind of called me and just said, hey, you're going to be the worship leader if you'll accept it. And I was like, okay. I knew it was coming someday. I just did not think it was coming yet. I was thinking more like 5 years from now. I did not. I knew that I was called to be a worship pastor, but I just didn't think it was going to be so soon. But God had other plans. God knows best. And so the same weekend of Dixie, stop it! The same weekend of Revival Rush, it was Friday, Saturday. That Sunday, I led church worship for the first time as the worship pastor. I had led a small handful of times before when Pastor Shane was there. I had led maybe twice or maybe more, I don't know. I think it was about twice when Jessica was there. But since that date, I think it was November 21st, I have been worship pastor ever since. It has been a learning curve. I'm still learning a lot. I'm sure I will be for 20 more years. You know, I will never stop learning. We never stop learning. Yeah. But I did feel more equipped than when the first transition happened. I was worried that they were going to approach me and ask me to step up because at the time Jessica was still on maternity leave. So I was actually grateful that Jessica had stepped in to fill because I think that I learned a lot just from that gap of when Jessica was the worship pastor. And so Not that you're ever truly ready, but it did help me feel more equipped.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it has made me become head of other departments, just being the worship pastor. And so we've been going through transitions with our sound team and just, everything else that's going on in the church, remodel discussions in the church and add-ons in the church and stuff. And so I stepped out of coffee shop so that I could put more focus into audio-visual stuff and worship stuff. The last thing is just the holidays.
Yeah.
Holidays are crazy.
Which were fun.
Which are always fun.
Yeah. No, they were a good time.
We try to fit multiple Thanksgivings into one day. In the past, I've gone to my grandpa's in the morning, my grandma's or my aunt and uncle's in the past, depends on who's hosting, in the noonish time, afternoon. And then in the evening when Nathan would get off work, we would go to his mom and dad's. Now that Nathan has a job where he gets Thanksgiving off, praise the Lord, it was so fun to have him off for Thanksgiving. He got to come with me. This year it was just we just went up to my grandma's house for Thanksgiving and then went to his mom and dad's. So we did that. That was really fun to have him with me. Usually he can't come with when I spend time with my family, which has really been a big bummer. So it was really fun to have him with. And then luckily at Christmas time, his parents have always celebrated Christmas on Christmas Eve. And then, my family's always celebrated on Christmas Day. And so we were able to spend time with his family Christmas Eve, my family Christmas Day, and it was really nice. It gives us the opportunity to spend all day long if we wanted to with both families. And so it was fun. We got to give the nieces and nephews gifts, and my aunt and my cousin came on my dad's side of the family, and so that was really fun to have them. We usually don't have them for Christmas, and so it was just fun. That was what we were up to in 2021.
Yeah, and that was a lot, just all of these, but hopefully in the future, with all these events and things that have happened in our lives, you'll either see it in the moment or you'll hear about it on a vlog or something, specific to that time. That way, it's not just all like that. Hopefully, that gets you guys updated on where we're at, where we've been, and we can look back on this and ultimately see what we were doing, where we had been, the timeline of how things went, and then how that leads to who we are and what we're doing in the future.
And I don't know if I've ever said this, but I also run a radio station.
Yeah, she runs a radio station. So we got our hands in a lot. We got our fingers in a lot of pies. So, but hopefully you'll see a lot of that. Hopefully we'll vlog. I know it's so tough because I get embarrassed to vlog, or I just don't get the courage up to do it, but I want to try. And I know Melanie doesn't really care, but she'll do it.
It's both.
Yeah.
I'd love to vlog worship stuff, not necessarily the worship team, because I don't want to make people uncomfortable. And there is a level where it's like, this is the Lord's place.
Yeah.
And you don't
want to be
atmosphere.
Inappropriate about it, but do it in the right times.
Yeah. Or if there's ever a fun practice or a little sound check that we're doing, I can pop it up. Or even just, taking you along when I'm doing worship prep, when no one's around, or we're going to be going into the church on a night where no one's there and moving instruments around and organizing chords, and maybe we'll take you along for that. Maybe we'll show you the disaster. It'd even be fun just for us to look back on, show the sound room before and after. It's like cleaning your room.
Yeah.
You show the before shot, and then you clean your room, and then you show the after shot. Look, I cleaned my room. It's so nice and tidy. So maybe we'll do that with the stage or with the sound room. Well, that was our update. Thank you so much for watching.
Yes.
Be on the lookout for challenge videos and vlogs and more fun things. Also games. Nathan is getting more into recording some of his game stuff. He's a little uncomfortable with it, but it's something he wants to continue trying to do.
Yeah.
Him and his friends are so fun. I'm trying to encourage him because he doesn't have to put on a face.
Yeah.
It's so different when you're gaming by yourself and gaming with friends, and you can just talk to friends and be your natural goofy self. I just genuinely want him to record him being his natural goofy self, because I crack up so much. I'll be sitting here on the couch, just playing Oculus with Lane, and it is so funny. Last night, I don't know what game you guys were playing, but Nathan's big in this game. They're building stuff, whatever. Nathan's huge. Lane is this tiny little character. And so Nathan's towering over Lane, and Lane's like, "Uppy!" And you can see his hands go like this. He's like, "Uppy!" And it was so funny. So, because I couldn't see it, but I heard Lane through his headset, and I was like, what did he just say? Did he say uppy? And Nathan's like, here, let me show you. So he casts it to the TV, and I'm watching, and Layton does it again. He's this tiny little thing, and he goes, Uppy! It was so funny. So just things like that. Like, I want him to naturally catch those just natural, funny moments. And so, anyways. And then I'm excited to just be continuing my Sims challenge. There's already a couple of videos that are scheduled to come out. And so, and excited to do some other games as well. So, anyways.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more of this. Hit the bell icon if you want to get notified when we upload. And we will see you next time in the next video. Bye!
Bye!